Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Christian Glow Up Kit, where we talk about different ways we can glow up our relationship with the Lord. All right, so guys, today's episode is going to be about learning to trust the Lord and learning to trust God fully. Okay, not just learning to be like, yeah, I trust you, Lord. No, to trust Him fully, not just to talk the talk, but we're gonna walk the walk. Okay, all right. All right. The first thing that I'm going to ask you guys to do is the first thing that I'm going to say is this secret analogy. All right. So imagine you have a big secret, well, it doesn't have to be a big secret. You just have a secret, y'all. And you have to tell your secret to one person. Who would you rather tell? Would you rather tell your secret to your friend, or would you rather tell your secret to a stranger? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section as well. Like, who would you rather tell your secret to? And so you can pause right here to think about it, because I'm about to tell you, a little bit of a little bit of what I got. Okay. In this scenario, if it's hard to choose your friend to tell your secret, it may be because you don't know their intentions. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like, they feel like, I don't know what my friend gonna do. Like, I don't know if she's gonna tell somebody else or da da da. So that's another episode for another day. Like, what type of friends, who are you calling friend, right? Like, we should have boundaries for our friends and certain characteristics that we look for in friends. So that's a different episode for another day. A lot of the times, if you chose your friend to tell your secret, that's because you trust your friend. You know the intentions behind your friend. So you're like, yes, I'm going to tell my friend because, she's my bestie. She's a good friend. Okay. All this to say is that a lot of the times we do not trust the Lord because we don't know Him. We don't know His intentions for us. We don't know like what He's going to do if we give our life to Him. Sometimes we don't trust the Lord because we do not know His character. And even when we do know His character, because of the situation that we may be in, it could be really difficult to trust the Lord in that moment or at that time. Another reason why we could be having difficulty trusting the Lord is because of your relationships around you, y'all. Sometimes, I don't know, your mom broke your heart, this girl broke your heart, this boy broke your heart. Just so many people have like betrayed your trust. So it's so hard to give our hearts to God because we've been so bruised and we've been so we've been lied to. Our trust is like broken for everything, so that it becomes really difficult for us to also trust the Lord because of the way other people have broken our trust in the past. And which is why it's so important to remember, the Lord is not a man He should lie, right? So the Lord is not going to be like our parents, where you'd be like, oh, I'm going to take you to McDonald's tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes around, they're over here talking about where's your McDonald's money? Our parents, or, this is not everyone's parents, some people's parents. But the Lord is not a man that He should lie. He does not lie. Everything that comes out of His mouth is the truth. So it's so important that we understand that the Lord is not like a man. The Lord is not like your brother, your sister, your parents, just the people. The Lord is not like a man that He should lie. He always tells the truth. And because He always tells the truth, you should know, when He makes a promise, best believe the Lord is going to fulfill it. It may not be in the way that, we envision it in our head, but He will always keep His promises. That is why it is so essential for you to get to know God and His character in order to trust Him. Because if you don't know Him, obviously you're not going to trust the Lord that you serve. This brings me to the next point. What are God's intentions for us? It says it in the Bible in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. In another version, it also says, let's see, it also says, for I know. Okay, so in New International Reader's Version, it says, I know the plans I have for you, announces the Lord. I want you to enjoy success. I do not plan to harm you. I will give you hope for the years to come. So this is the intention of the Lord, guys. We have to keep that. word in our heart. God has good intentions for us. Number one, he said that he is not a man that he should lie. If he says he has good intentions for us, babes, he is not lying. God has great intentions for you. The next verse I have for you is Isaiah 55, verses 8 to 9, which says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts." In many moments, we do not understand what the Lord is doing, but it is so important for us to have it in our hearts that he knows what he's doing. His ways are literally higher than our ways. Like, we might think of a way to get ourselves in out of a situation, but the Lord has an even better way. His ways are literally higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Like, he created us, guys. So he knows what's going on. So we have to really be steadfast and trust in the Lord at all times. And for those who are suffering and going through something right now, know that it is nothing compared to the glory that he will reveal later. Romans 8:18, for what you suffer now cannot compare to what will happen in the future. Your situation right now is temporary. The Lord, just continue trusting in the Lord and he will make a way through. The last verse I have for you is Psalm 119, verse 105. Your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. All right. When I think of this verse, y'all, I think of like complete darkness, like just pitch darkness. And there's a step right in front of you. There's a light pointing to a step that is right in front of you. And so many times you want to see the full path. Like, Lord, show me, okay, so if I measure in this, I'll get a job in this, I do this, da, da, da. Like, you want to see the whole path. But a lot of the times, the Lord only reveals to you a step in front, right? So, and also in the, a little vision that I envision is that as it's dark, like, you only see one step ahead of you, but you want to see the full path. But as you take a step forward, you you ground yourself in that next step, the next step is revealed again. Like every time, it's like in steps, guys. So sometimes the Lord will only reveal to you the next step, but you want to see the whole picture. But just know that is what it looks like to trust the Lord at times. You don't know where you're going, but you understand his intentions, which is why it's also important for us to be obedient to what the Lord is telling you to do. For example, like, other people that you watch or that you look up to that like inspire you, imagine they weren't obedient to what the Lord told them to do. Well, if they're, Christian, they got the relationship with the Lord. But like, imagine you didn't see your Christian influencers that are like inspiring you to they're not obedient to what God told you. Like, where would you be? So it's so important for you to know that your obedience is not just tied to you and your life. Your obedience is tied to someone else's breakthrough. So important that it doesn't matter what God is telling you, even if it's a little small thing. Like, it's so important for us to be obedient to what he tells us to do. So that is why it's so important for us, y'all, to not just it's so important for us to not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. It's easy to trust the Lord when things are looking great, but your true faith and your true endurance is tested when things are looking bad. Where is your trust in him when things start falling apart? When life starts lifing, y'all, where is your trust in the Lord? Where is your faith in the Lord? It is essential for us to have a firm foundation in the Lord so that we are firmly rooted in him. So when things become difficult, so when things become rough, we don't become thrown off. Instead, we will be filled with peace because we know the Lord that we serve. We know the Lord that we trust in. Although I said that other verse was the last verse, it's also in Psalms 112, verse 7. They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Honestly, like, if you want to know like what happens when you trust the Lord, the things, just your heart being light when you trust the Lord, you should definitely read Psalms 112. It's like these promises that this is what happens when we trust in the Lord. One more thing I forgot to mention. trusting the Lord is a process. It's not an overnight quick fix. Honestly, sometimes it can be an overnight quick fix, to be honest. You're just like, okay, like Lord just delivers you, sets you free from a certain mindset, but it's a process. I feel like it's just all our life. We're just going through stuff and we need to literally trust the Lord throughout the whole life that we're living, y'all. It's a process. Trusting the Lord is not just one thing. It's your whole life. It's a lifestyle. Trusting the Lord is a lifestyle. See you in the next episode. I hope this episode blessed you. Thank you so much for watching.